Man, it feels so great to get a dominating win here against the San Francisco 49ers. I can't sit here and lie, though. It would have been so great to do this against a healthy San Francisco 49ers, without Brock Purdy, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Charvarius Ward, just to name the four most important players out of this game. But nonetheless, a win is a win. And this was a dominating win on offense, on defense, on special teams. The Packers beating the Niners 38-10 here in Week 12, moving them to 8-3. Which is still only third best in the NFC North, which is just crazy. Just shows the amount of, talent in the NFC North, how good these football teams are. The Lions continue to win. The Vikings continue to win, find a way to win today in overtime against the Bears. The Packers at 8-3, third in the division, I think would lead like 3 or 4 divisions around the NFL. But nonetheless, huge to get such a dominating win against the 49ers. Again, I wish it was against a healthy 49ers and a full-strength 49ers, but, injuries happen. The Packers can't control that. They have injuries as well. But I'm glad we finally didn't really play down to the competition and just went out there and dominated. Now, there were some inconsistencies, and we'll dive down into it, mainly in the passing offense. Still some drops. Jordan Love a little bit inconsistent. But overall, man, it's just all around, I can't complain. 38-10. Right? 3 turnovers. You win the turnover differential +3. You get 21 points off of 3 turnovers. You're efficient in the red zone. You have less penalties. You dominate in the running game. And you just absolutely control time of possession. That's a great way to win a football game. And the Packers did an excellent job of that today. So let's dive down into my thoughts, reactions of this game. We'll start on defense. Obviously, the Niners coming into this game without Brock Purdy. Brandon Allen starting at quarterback, getting the start there. Actually was coached under Matt LaFleur in 2017 on the Washington football team at the time. So some rapport there. I kind of expected the Packers to be more aggressive against this 49ers passing offense. It seems like Jeff Hafley, when he doesn't have his guys out there, primarily Jair Alexander, he kind of plays more soft coverage. He kind of allows these quick timing routes, these quick flat routes, these out routes to work. And the time the 49ers drove down the field and scored a touchdown, the only time, it seemed like that was open the entire time. And maybe the Packers were just playing soft because it was before half. But I really wanted him to pressure Brandon Allen, make him beat you. Make him throw an accurate throw downfield against you. Bring some cover 1, cover 0 pressures, and make him beat you. But overall, I can't complain too much. Like I said, they scored 10 points. They scored 10 points, and albeit a backup quarterback. But they still had Christian McCaffrey, who, isn't his former self as of right now. But the Packers' run defense, they just shut them down in the trenches. The 49ers ran 16 times for 44 yards, 2.8 average. McCaffrey, 11 for 31, 2.8 average. The Packers are a middle of the pack, slightly above average run defense. In terms of total yards, I think they're like 12th. In terms of yard per carry, I think they're like 16th. So great performance by this run defense. And the only receiver or a tight end, that did anything against the Packers was George Kittle, which isn't a shock. He usually has good games against us. 6 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Juwan Jennings, 5 for 40. McCaffrey, 3 for 37. Deebo Samuel, 1 for 21. Deebo just, not good this year. And he's getting paid $22 million. Just to put that into perspective for you guys, the other all receivers on the Packers roster, in terms of, who's on the active roster, a total of $8 million. All of them combined. But the Packers getting 3 turnovers, I can't ask for more. And then complimentary football for the offense to turn 3 turnovers into 21 points. Xavier McKinney with another interception. I believe it was a drop by Deebo, and it just pretty much landed in Xavier McKinney's lap. Again, just showcasing that he's always right place, right time. 2 forced fumbles. We had the Lucas Van Ness strip sack. Great to see him get on the stat sheet in terms of a sack, in terms of a forced fumble late in that game. We also had Keyshawn Nixon force a fumble on Christian McCaffrey, which was a nice catch and run to shut that down, come up, make a play. I thought Nixon had a great game. We weren't really talking about him much at all throughout this game, and that typically means if you're a cornerback and you're not talked about, you're having a great game because you're not being targeted, where people say, what is Nixon doing, right? So I thought it was a great game by a lot of defenders. I thought Evan Williams had a good game. He obviously made that outstanding play on 4th down where the Packers pretty much already won, but I love the physicality. That's a play in the past that the opposing team would get that first down. 4th and short, quick out route, ball's caught before the sticks. Evan Williams comes up and makes a physical tackle, and that's what he's brought to this defense, physicality. I thought Javon Bullard had a really nice game. It seemed like anytime the ball was thrown in his area, he was right there to make the tackle right away, didn't miss any. And of course, we got to talk about Quay. We're hard about him on this channel. I thought he had his best game all year. And it would have been a perfect game had he just caught that interception. He's definitely had some drop issues in his career. He's got to hit the jugs machine. I mean, you got to catch those interceptions. It's right in your hands. But other than that, I thought it was an outstanding game by Quay. He made a nice tackle for loss late in this game. I thought he was run fitting well. I thought he was covering well. And more importantly, the Packers were utilizing him rushing the passer. He had multiple pressures up the A-gap where he just looked like he was just shot out of a cannon and a force and pressured Brandon Allen. And multiple times, I believe that resulted in punts. But, overall, this defense, opening up, forcing the 49ers to 2 straight 3-and-outs. It's what we expected against a injury-riddled 49ers off. So I can't sit here and complain too much about this defense. I thought it was a great game, only allowing 10 points. Now, I will say I don't need to see as much Eric Stokes on the field, and at this point, I feel like they should just give Kalen King a shot, right? Last time they gave a 7th rounder out of Penn State that they drafted a shot was Rasheed Walker, and he has not let the left tackle job go. I feel like Kalen King should get a shot at this point. Eric Stokes is not going to be brought back next year. He's on the last year of his deal. It's like, what are you really getting out of him by playing him, right? It seems gone. Like, the hope of former rookie Eric Stokes returning is gone. So at this point, you should just move on, maybe get a guy like Kalen King some snaps. And to be out Jair Alexander and Edgerrin Cooper and still only allow an offense, it's an NFL offense nonetheless. Yes, a backup quarterback, no left tackle, it's still an NFL offense. To only allow 10 points there without 2-year starters, it's impressive. Now flipping over to the offense, the Packers dominated the trenches in terms of the running game. Would have liked to see more consistency out of the passing game, but Jordan Love didn't throw an interception, and I think he had 9 straight games with an interception before this, so great to see that. Small victories, right? Jordan Love, without an interception, finished 13 of 23, not that efficient, just slightly above 50%, 163 yards, did throw 2 touchdowns, threw a beautiful fade ball, back shoulder fade to Malik Heath to end this game. No interceptions, did get sacked twice. It seemed like Jordan Love kind of got himself sacked twice. He's been very good at getting out of sacks and maintaining the pocket composure and extending plays, and that's why they've allowed the fewest sacks in the NFL before this game and have been the best pass-blocking offensive line. But it seems like he kind of got himself sacked a couple times in this game. I think they were both by Leonard Floyd, so not great to see that, but overall I can't complain too much about that. Running game, Josh Jacobs, 26 carries, 106 yards. When's the last time the Packers, and 19 of those came in the first half, when's the last time the Packers gave 19 carries to a running back in the first half? Let me know down in the comments if you guys can figure that out. I would guess early 2000s Amon Green. And Josh Jacobs gets 3 touchdowns, got the hat trick. A stat I do know is the last Packers running back to get 100-plus yards rushing and 3 touchdowns was Dorsey Levens in 1999. So it's great that the Packers have Josh Jacobs now as this bell cow running back, something that we've not really seen for a while. We've been running back by committee ever since, Eddie Lacy wasn't our guy anymore, with Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, A.J. Dillon. It's always been kind of by committee, like drive on, drive off. And I always hated that. Like, run with your hot hand. And Josh Jacobs was the hot hand today, made so many defenders miss. The 49ers had 15 missed tackles in the first half, which I believe is some type of record. I mean, Josh Jacobs was bouncing off of every single tackle, whether he was hit at the line of scrimmage, whether he's hit in the backfield. This guy was yards after contact, and that's been his MO since joining the Green Bay Packers. He's been so great at that and just getting extra yards after contact. And the Packers did a great job using a lot of misdirection in terms of their running game, just kind of confusing the 49ers, whether it was orbit motion, fake orbit handoff to an inside zone to Josh Jacobs. I think they did an excellent job at that. Emmanuel Wilson also ran hard, 9 carries, 41 yards, 4.6 average. Chris Brooks ran hard. Now his average isn't great, 4 for 11, 2.8 average, but a lot of those came late in the game where the 49ers knew they were running. So it was overall just a great game by all 3 of these running backs, in my opinion. Bo Melton went 1 for 5. Watson went 1 for 4. Man, we might as well just talk about Watson. After a 4-catch, 150-yard game, going to this game, you're like, all right, Watson's getting more involved, like, as he should. And then to drop that wide open touchdown before half, man, the Packers yet again struggled with drops today. So you can't all blame Jordan Love. Like, if that ball's caught, we're not talking about an inefficient day for Jordan Love. We're talking about a 200-plus yard day by Jordan Love and a 3-touchdown, 0-interception day. So you got to put that into perspective as well. The Packers got to hold on to the football, man. So many drops this season. Watson with a terrible drop today. Dobbs, I think, had 2 drops. Hopefully Dobbs is okay. Left this game with a concussion. I don't think he'll be able to play Thursday. That's just speculation. Every concussion is different, and maybe he could, but it's a short week. I wouldn't expect him to be available this Thursday against Miami. The Packers' leading receiver was Romeo Doubs, 3 catches, 54 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 for 26. Nice to see him get on the stat sheet after a catchless day last week. They ran a perfect tight end screen for their first touchdown. Then he had a nice other play where he pretty much dove to the 1-yard line, always creating yards after contact as well. Of course, had that touchdown. Jaden Reed, 3 for 26. I believe all of these occurred in the first half. They were using him out of the backfield, running wheel routes out of the pony formation with Jaden Reed out of the backfield. I love to see it. I thought he'd do more in this game. The Niners don't cover slot receivers well. They allowed 110 yards to JSN last week. I thought it was going to be a bigger game by Reed, but it wasn't. But overall, it just was a, kind of inconsistent passing day for this offense. But they didn't need to. They didn't need it, right? Like the running game just controlled this offense. Wicks got a catch for 25. Started to see more snaps after Dobbs went out. Nice crosser route, wide open. Good 25-yard gain. Malik Heath involved, 2 catches, 15 yards. Had a beautiful fade catch. Back corner of that end zone. Beautiful throw by Jordan Love. Chris Brooks, a catch for 15. John Fitzpatrick got his second catch as a Packer, 1 for 2. And Watson, targeted 3 times, 0 catches. Also, another thing to note in terms of how well the Packers ran the football against the Niners defense, and yeah, sure, you could go, oh, they don't have Nick Bosa, right? He's more of a, great pass rusher. They didn't have Charvarius Ward. Okay, fine. The 49ers didn't allow a 100-yard running back in 55 straight games, and the Packers just broke that streak. That's how well the Packers ran the football today. And running the football just completely controlled the clock. The Packers won the time of possession battle 36 minutes and 43 seconds compared to the Niners 23 minutes and 17 seconds. When you win turnover differential 3-0, you do well in the red zone, which was massive because the Packers have struggled in the red zone. You score 21 points off said turnovers. You win in the trenches by stopping their run game and executing yours, and you win time of possession. That's a very easy way to dominate a football game, and that's exactly what the Packers did, 38-10. And it really didn't matter how inefficient they were in the passing game. The Packers did an excellent job on third down on offense and defense. The Packers converted many first downs on third down on offense and also stopped the Niners on third down a ton on defense. So yeah, overall, just an outstanding performance by this football team here in Week 12 to get a dominating victory, which they should have. Looking at this game, you're like, hey, the Packers should go out here and they should dominate. They should win by multiple scores. And winning by 28, that's a domination of a football game. I don't care who's missing for the 49ers. The Packers have had plenty of injuries as well. Getting a win here, obviously massive against the 49ers. A win now brings them up to, I think, around 90% chance to make the playoffs. And the Packers' best football, it's ahead of them. It really is ahead of them. Where you look at other teams around the league, how dominating the Detroit Lions have been. Is their best football ahead of them? Not so sure. They've maybe played their best football in the middle of the season. It's not about what you do in the regular season. It's about how hot you get later in the season, how hot you get in the postseason. And the Packers are a team that could do that. The Packers are a team that, when you clean up these drops, you clean up some of these personal mistakes, right? They could get very, very hot to end the season and very, very hot in the playoffs. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I know some people were upset at the offense, and then going into half, they're like, oh man, this team is upsetting me and whatnot, but I can't sit here and complain. I really can't. 38-10 victory. I truly cannot sit here and complain. It's a massive win for the Packers, and it didn't really exercise all the demons against the 49ers, if we're being honest, but it definitely felt good. It felt good to get a massive dominating win here in Week 12 versus the 49ers. I appreciate you guys coming by to the video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below. Go click subscribe to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers. You'll find it all here on the channel throughout the week. You won't regret clicking subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.